Hope you guys are having a fantastic 2022. Samsung's upcoming phones, the S22, the S22 Plus, and the S22 Ultra, are expected to launch early February. These three phones are expected to be priced at $799, $999, and $1199 respectively. Now, for the Indian pricing, you can expect the prices to be a direct conversion and then add a little bit of money for excise duties and customs. So expect them to be priced about $100 to $200 more than these dollar prices. All three phones are expected to be slimmer and slightly more compact than their previous generation counterparts, and the S22 Ultra is expected to be a direct successor to the Galaxy Note series, which was missed during last year's launch of the Galaxy Fold 3 and the Flip 3. Now, the S22 is expected to have a 6.06-inch display, the S22 Plus will have a 6.5-inch display, and the S22 Ultra will have a 6.81-inch display. These phones are considerably smaller than previous generation devices, and so are the displays, making these devices a lot more portable despite a fairly large screen size. You will also see 120 Hz of variable refresh rate, at least on the S22 Plus and the S22 Ultra, and this can go down to 1 Hz of refresh rate to save on battery life. These displays are also extremely bright, with the S22 Plus and the S22 Ultra getting up to 1750 nits of peak brightness, which will be fantastic for viewing content and a really good benchmark for displays on smartphones. The S22 will also have a pretty good number, just not as high as the 1750 on the Plus and the Ultra. Now, powering everything will be Qualcomm's Snapdragon chips, but this also talks about Samsung's own Exynos 2200 chipset. Now, this chipset is based on their 4nm process, which is also responsible for some new chips from Qualcomm Snapdragon, which are expected to be used for the S22 as well as the S22 Plus, whereas the Exynos 2200 will be used for the Ultra. In certain markets, you'll also see the Qualcomm Snapdragon Series 8 Gen 1. This primarily includes the US and South Korea to start off with. Europe and Asia will most likely see Exynos 2200, and so has been the destiny for India. The S22 Ultra is what fans and consumers are most excited for, and that's purely because it is expected to be a real successor of the Galaxy Note, a phone Samsung decided to not launch because of their Fold and Flip series devices, because they want to push foldables. Unfortunately, that strategy didn't work for Samsung very well, and they're back to the drawing board with an S Pen. And the Ultra is supposed to not only satisfy people who want larger flagship devices, but also people who've missed out on a true Note successor, which this phone might be. Renders, leaks, and rumors point towards an included S Pen, which will also be able to fit inside the body of the S22, making it a pretty fantastic option for those who still use that writing device. You'll also get some additional features that are only limited to the S Pen functionality of the S22 Ultra, and hence the S22 and the S22 Plus won't get those. As far as battery sizes are concerned, the S22 is expected to have a battery around 3800 mAh, whereas the S22 Plus is expected to be around the 4500 mAh range, and the S22 Ultra is expected to be about 5000 mAh. And these numbers are actually on the higher side, and final releases of the battery could be much lower, because not only is Samsung making these phones slimmer, but the 4nm process is supposedly more energy efficient, so you won't need the extra large battery sizes from last year. These phones also support newer forms of charging. While the S22 will remain a 25-watt wired and 15-watt wireless, both the S22 Plus and the S22 Ultra will support 45-watt charging, but Samsung will be selling this charger separately. This also talks about Samsung testing a 65-watt charging on their phones, and it is possible that Samsung enables this via a software update in the future and also starts selling a 65-watt charger as an accessory, following along the lines of what Apple has been doing with their phones and devices. Now, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra will also have their flagship 108-megapixel camera with 3x and 10x optical zoom. You'll also get a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera and a 10-megapixel telephoto camera. For the S22 and the S22 Plus, you can expect a similar combination, but the main camera will be a 50-megapixel camera instead of 108 megapixels, and the main camera may not have any kind of additional optical zoom that you'll see on the S22 Ultra. A 40-megapixel selfie camera is expected on all of these devices, along with a punch hole on the front, which will continue to keep the design aesthetic of these phones alive. Now, OnePlus is also working and officially releasing information about their 10 Pro launch. So you'll get a second generation Hasselblad camera. A lot of people were not happy with the first generation that we saw last year, but this time around there should be some improvements. There's also a 48 megapixel plus 50 megapixel plus 8 megapixel camera combination. And you'll also get the Qualcomm Snapdragon Series 8 Gen 1 chipset out of the box. And I'm expecting that to be the chip in all variants of the OnePlus 10, whether Pro or not. So let's stay tuned for that. So we can expect the phone to launch in several variants as far as RAM and storage combinations are concerned. All of that information has not been given yet, but you do have the information that the main display will have a 120 Hz refresh rate with an AMOLED display with LTPO and most likely a 360 Hz of a touch polling rate or touch response rate, which will be great for the display of the phone. The phone will also have a 5000 mAh battery along with 50 watts of wireless charging and 80 watts of wired charging. All of these are new things for the company officially because now they fall under the Oppo banner and all of these are now called VOOC and AirVOOC charging. So you will see a first proper flagship phone from OnePlus being launched under the Oppo banner, even though all of us really know that Oppo has been involved with the company from the very beginning. But this is the first time around that Oppo will be officially launching this phone. Now it launches on the 10th of January overseas and hopefully we should be launching in India sometime soon as well. So what do you think will be the price of the OnePlus 10 Pro? And would you be interested in buying the OnePlus 10 Pro, or are you looking and waiting for the Samsung Galaxy S22 series? Both these brands have suffered a lot of image problems over the last 2 years, but Samsung has recovered quite well, and the S22 or at least their Galaxy S series usually tend to do well. If you guys are excited, let us know what your favorite device out of all of these is. If you're looking forward to any other phone and would like us to cover that, do let us know in the comment section below. We'll keep you updated. Hope you're having a blast and hope you continue watching us in 2022. We have a lot of interesting stuff and giveaways coming. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter because we'll be announcing the giveaways there. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.